for the next 6 years. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Looks like we have a sport bar here. Cantina and sport bar. A lot of Chinese here actually in Mexicali. A lot of history with Los Chinos. And I believe there are over 360 Chinese restaurants here in the city, so theoretically every day you could visit a new Chinese restaurant. Anyways, we're gonna, like I mentioned, I'm gonna walk and see the legislative buildings since I am in the capital, Baja California. Most people perhaps think Tijuana is the capital, but Tijuana is not the capital, but it is the most important. So that being Canada and also Mexico. Bueno. I could be wrong, but I predict more integration between the three countries in the future within the next decade. I'm not saying a combined currency, but you never know. You see right there, we have the American flag here in Mexico. But as I mentioned, more integration between the three countries, perhaps similar to what we see in Europe. This is just my prediction. But more, I don't know, perhaps freedom of movement. As I mentioned, perhaps a combined currency, you never know. So in my case, I'm glad I know so much about my northern neighbor, Canada, and of course my southern neighbor in Mexico. And if you can, as an American, perhaps learn French as a foreign language. I mean, you have Quebec and a few other countries in the Americas and Europe and Africa that speak French, but I would say for sure learn Spanish as an American. Spanish is the most spoken language of the Americas, and obviously one of the most spoken languages in the world, and a very important language to learn, and a fun language, and it's good for your brain. So I guess that's my tips for Americans. Learn Spanish. It'll help you with other languages. It's good for your brain. And you never know with the integration between the US, Mexico, and even Latin America. Bueno. Here in Mexico, obviously, you have many American corporations. So you have your Domino's, Burger King, McDonald's, etc., of course. Alright, this has been a long video, and I typically never speak in my videos, but I guess I'm just thankful, and I wanted to reiterate how happy I am to be here in Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico. Mexico's official name is the United States of Mexico, if you didn't know that. We have a dentist to the left. I won't go into details, but actually I had 3 doctor visits. Whilst here in Mexico, there was no waiting lines, no insurance, and I'll just say it was probably a 1/10 of the price of what I would pay in the US for everything. Probably, and that's being generous, probably a 1/10. But, and I didn't speak to nurses. I spoke to the doctors and to the specialists. You don't, in the US, I don't understand, it doesn't make sense to me why one would speak to a nurse. I don't know. I visited the doctor in the US, and I spoke with the nurse, I believe, more than the doctor. And there was a 2-hour wait, and it just wasn't a great experience in the US. But I can confidently say I had a much better experience in Mexico regarding healthcare, the healthcare system, than in the US. Buena. So, interesting to note. I'm sticking around the Mexican border because I have my vehicle. I usually store my vehicle over the winter, but for reasons, I have to keep my vehicle with me. So that's the reason why I've been staying around the border of Mexico. But if I was able to store my vehicle over the winter and have someone periodically start my vehicle, right now I would probably be in Argentina and traveling throughout South America. But that is the goal for next winter. And I'm just thankful for everything that I have, for the experiences that I've had, and to be here in Mexico, enjoying life and learning on this Saturday. All right, peace from Mexico. Ciao.